until she saw the kitchen, covered in blood and dog hair. The woman finally realized the nanny had cooked the golden retriever that grew up with her. Watching the nanny who had called a group of strangers to her house, having a party and eating dog meat, she completely lost her temper. It turned out that Yuyu's father was the underground boss Sang Biao. To prove her ability, she bought a house on her own and lived outside alone, then hired a nanny. But the nanny Lu Xioli thought Yuyu had no family. That day the nanny mopped the floor while planning to introduce her newly divorced son to Yuyu. At that moment Yuyu was wearing headphones and didn't hear her at all. Yuyu happened to be wearing headphones, dealing with company business, and casually agreed to her subordinate's plan. That one okay made Lu Xioli think that Yuyu had agreed to her. Happy, she put down the mop and was going to tell her son the good news. Yuyu watched the nanny so happy and had no idea what was going on. Meanwhile, the underground boss Sang Biao was about to kill someone when suddenly his daughter called him. He had just had a fierce look but turned into a different person after answering. He waved his hand and his men dragged the body away. Yuyu told her dad not to kill anyone else or she would ignore him forever. Sang Biao asked if the new nanny could take good care of her. Yuyu told her dad the nanny cooked pretty well but talked too much. Then Yuyu asked her dad to come pick up the dog tomorrow because she was busy with work lately and was afraid the nanny couldn't take good care of it. Sang Biao felt terrible after hearing that. The dog was like her child. If the nanny didn't take good care of it, she wouldn't live. The next day when Yuyu was eating, Lu Xioli walked over and sat right next to her and even questioned if she had been spending money carelessly again. Yuyu was surprised the nanny had no boundaries at all. She immediately warned her clearly to know her place. Lu Xioli said seriously, "Young people just don't listen. I told you to spend less for your own good." That night, Yuyu immediately contacted the agency and asked them to change the nanny, but they said it would take at least 3 days. The next morning, Yuyu just got up and found the table covered in trash and a messy stranger sitting on the sofa. It turned out this man was Lu Xioli's son Zhao Dayong. When he saw Yuyu get up, the nanny quickly introduced him. This was her excellent son. She thought they were a perfect match, so she let him come over to get close to you. Yuyu was totally confused by her words. Before she could get angry, suddenly her assistant called, saying important clients were at the company and telling her to come right away. Before leaving, Yuyu told the nanny to take her son and get out, or they would definitely regret it later. Then she left for the company. At that time Sang Biao was on his way to her. Suddenly Yuyu called and said there were 2 rascals at home and asked him to handle it. When Sang Biao heard his precious daughter was wronged, he flew into a rage. He immediately turned the car around and rushed to the villa with his men. But at that moment inside the villa, Zhao Dayong was still talking about Yuyu. This girl had such a bad temper. Not long after a group of people arrived at the villa. They were all Zhao Dayong's relatives. Lu Xioli called them over as guests and said this was her daughter-in-law's home. They all praised Zhao Dayong for finding such a good wife. Just looking at the furniture in the house, they could tell she was rich. Lu Xioli said modestly, "It was just okay, except the young girl had a bit of a bad temper. I would have a hard time when I'm older." Then Zhao Dayong promised his mother, once they got married, within a month at most, he would make her obedient. The relatives all said Dayong was so capable. None of these people knew how miserable they would soon be. Suddenly Yuyu's golden retriever barked twice. When the second uncle saw it, he said the dog was so fat. The filial Zhao Dayong immediately said to kill the dog. Lu Xioli did not hesitate at all and took the golden retriever into the kitchen. Soon they were eating and drinking in the living room, treating the place like their own home. To save face, Lu Xioli also told the relatives that anything they liked here, they could take whatever they wanted. Soon everyone found something they liked. Lu Xioli held Yuyu's bag and said, "This cost at least hundreds of thousands." Her daughter-in-law bought it just for her. As soon as she said that, everyone present was extremely envious. But suddenly Yuyu pushed the door open and walked in. Seeing a group of people on the sofa, she asked loudly, "What are you doing in my house?" Drunk Zhao Dayong said, "You're finally back. Can't you see so many guests at home? Why don't you come and entertain them?" Lu Xioli quickly ran over to explain, "These are all our relatives." As she spoke, she tried to pull Yuyu to introduce her to everyone. Yuyu told her, "Before I left today, I told you to get out of my house, but now you even brought a group of people here. Do you think I'm easy to bully?" The relatives all said she was so rude. No wonder Xioli said you had a bad temper. Yuyu told them to get out quickly, or when my dad comes, you won't be able to leave even if you want. Dayong angrily slapped his leg and told her to shut up. The relatives quickly stopped him and said, "No couple doesn't lose their temper. Talk it out, don't fight." But at that moment Yuyu didn't care what they said at all, because she noticed her golden retriever was gone. She hurried to the kitchen. When she saw the blood and dog hair on the floor, Yu couldn't hold back anymore. She covered her mouth and asked the nanny, "What did you do to the golden retriever?" Then Zhao Daong walked over and said contemptuously, "It's just a dog, it's already cooked." He also said Yu didn't know how to live. Such a big dog. Ate several steamed buns every day. What was the point of keeping it? Since there were relatives at home today, I cooked it to entertain them. Is there a problem? At that moment all Yu could think about was her golden retriever. She said loudly, "You will pay for this." Meanwhile Sang Biao had already arrived at the villa gate. If he knew the golden retriever had been eaten, no one knew how crazy he would get. Inside the villa, Yu flipped the table like crazy. The relatives all said if she was crazy, it was just a dog. Was it worth making such a scene? They told Daong to teach her a good lesson. This wasteful woman. After hearing that Daong slapped Yu directly, all the relatives clapped and cheered, saying that was how to teach a new wife. But the next second, there was a rapid knock on the door.